welcome and welcome back. I am very excited to be here with more Monster High content and also with something a little bit different. I feel like I say that all the time now, but it's fun to kind of broaden the horizons of what we do here on this channel. So today I'm going to be taking a look at these 4 Monster High dolls here, and we're going to be kind of revamping them. If you guys watch my Rainbow High content, if you watch all the way through to the end screen is the doll after I've picked an outfit that I'm going to display her in, and then a lot of the time their hair is also washed, sometimes styled. So especially like Bella, most recently, I did give her hair some curl to it. And I just like to do that with dolls that I'm purchasing now, so that way when they go to their display, they're looking as fabulous as possible. But with some of my older dolls, mostly Monster High, they're looking a little rough. Like, they're still beautiful dolls, but A, they are old dolls at this point, and then B, they have been in storage 1 or 2 times, so they're not looking their absolute best. So I thought it would be fun to kind of start showing you guys how I might revamp these dolls and give them new life. I'm not customizing them in the sense that I'm not going to be doing face-ups or anything like that. Nothing serious. Just a lot of hair washing and a few minor tweaks here and there. So we're doing 4 today because it is kind of more basic stuff that I'm going to be doing. Spectra just needs a hair wash. It's not even very bad. It's just not the softest it could be, so I want to give her a hair wash. Abby is going to get a hair wash, and I think I'm going to paint her nails. So with Venus is going to be a little bit more of a struggle. I'm a little nervous about her. She is, if you saw my Monster High collection video, one of my favorite characters for Monster High, so the stakes are very high, but her hair's bad. There is a lot of glue seepage at her scalp, just something that happens over time with some of these Monster High dolls. So she really, really needs a hair wash, but the flocking can make that complicated, so we'll see how that goes. And then finally, the Scarily Ever After Draculaura needs a lot of help. Not only does she need a hair wash, but she also desperately needs a restyle. It is really just limp and gross looking, and that's not what we want for her. She is such a beautiful doll. She deserves to look a little bit better. So yes, I'm going to be doing all 4 of these dolls. I'm going to kind of make it pretty rapid fire, but give you guys just a basic breakdown of how I wash their hair and how I'm going to handle the slightly more complicated situations that these 2 pose. So if that sounds interesting, let's go ahead and dive on in and start fixing up these dolls.
Hello, this is Paige from the future. You might have noticed in this previous clip that I sounded nice and happy and positive for the future. I was wrong. Literally everything from here on out basically just goes downhill. The ending I think is okay. I think we got there at some point, but wow, I was not prepared for how bad this would go. So get ready. I just wanted to include this section so you could kind of see a little bit more close up what I'm talking about. It's hard because a lot of this is a texture issue, but especially with Venus and Draculaura, you can kind of tell how gross their hair is. So yeah, just a bit of a close up to hopefully give you guys a better idea of what was wrong with these guys. Okay, so we are starting with something that actually did go well. We have to start out on the high note. I'm just filling up a little bowl here with cold water. That is important so that you don't melt any of the glue inside your doll's head. And then just some basic Dawn dish soap. That's what I'm going to use to wash Spectra's hair. She is off screen. You can kind of see bits of her hair kind of come in here as I rinse her hair with just water. Sorry about the angles. I promise it does get better. I wanted to start with Spectra because she was just a basic wash. Her hair didn't really have any glue seepage. It was just to make it a little bit softer, so hers was the easiest. So after I rinse it, get it kind of wet, I let her sit in the bowl and submerge her hair fully, and then she is just going to soak there. Then after about 30 minutes or so of letting her soak, I go ahead and take her out and begin a second rinse just to get all of the soap out. I waited about 30 minutes, but frankly, it's just dish soap and cold water. It's not going to hurt your doll, so if you leave her in longer, it's going to be okay. So just rinse until all of the soap is out, and then we are going to squeegee and transfer her to a towel. I am, once again, kind of squeegeeing her hair out. I want to try to make the drying process as quick and easy as possible, so I'm just getting some of that excess moisture out of the way. Sorry if that word bothers you. It bothers me. I don't know why I just said that. Once we're done squeezing, though, I'm just going to lay her into the towel and wrap her up nice and secure. And then this I do tend to leave either all day or overnight just to let it dry. While we are waiting for Spectra's hair to dry, I am going ahead and painting Abby's nails. As you can see, I have removed her hands. I'm just using a tiny little brush and basic acrylic paint. I'm doing white. Obviously, if you're doing your doll, you can do whatever color makes you happy, but I thought with Abby's color scheme, white would be a good one. So I'm just going in, like I said, with the acrylic paint, painting every nail. It is a long and careful process. I was a little bit shaky recording this. I don't know if it was too much coffee or what was going on, but I was taking my sweet time getting these nails right. But it's worth it to take your time and get it done properly. If you are concerned about these lasting, if you're doing this, you can always use a matte varnish or like a matte top coat kind of thing to seal in your paint job. Personally, I wasn't super worried about it. It's such a small amount of paint, and my doll just stands in one place anyway. She's not going anywhere. So I didn't bother. Also, I'm just lazy if we're being 100% honest there. But yeah, so I do this with this hand and then obviously just repeat on the next one. Okay, now, so you might have been confused about why I said that everything kind of went downhill, because everything up until this point has sounded pretty good. This is kind of where everything became a disaster. I have Abby on the screen because I did actually find that underneath her headband, she had a significant glue problem as well. So the only doll that was actually easy for me this round was Spectra. With Abby, Venus, and then Draculaura with the glue, I tried several methods of trying to get it out. I had like half an hour of footage at least that I'm just not including here because I didn't think it would be very entertaining for you guys to watch me fail for half an hour. So I tried just using the dish soap. I tried using laundry detergent and fabric softener. I tried using Glue Gone and soaking that in the hair. I tried using cornstarch and letting that sit overnight so that it would hopefully draw the glue out, and then washing that out. And absolutely all of it failed. So what I'm doing here, kind of my last resort, is using cornstarch almost like a dry shampoo. Literally nothing else would work. So I was at my wit's end. I was like, okay, I wanted to be able to wash this stuff out, but I physically couldn't make it happen. So if you guys have any tips for me down in the comments, that would be incredible. I would love to find a more permanent solution for this. But for now, just for my peace of mind of having them look a little bit better and feel better, even more importantly, I did just use the cornstarch dry shampoo sort of method here. So that is what we're going for. But yeah, I thought I would give y'all a explanation as to why these dolls look worse than when they started, because all of the other methods genuinely, instead of getting rid of the glue, just spread the glue from the root all the way to the tip. So they were looking gross. So I am just using basic cornstarch. You can get it at any grocery store, or you can use baby powder as well, kind of whatever you prefer. And then I'm using a toothbrush as an applicator. I had an extra one lying around, thank goodness. So I'm just dipping it in the cornstarch and then rubbing it onto the doll's head. I am focusing on Abby here at the top of her head because, like I said, under the headband was where the worst of her glue was. And then just kind of at the roots in general. Even though the glue had gotten kind of all the way to the ends, by the time I was done experimenting, it was still very much the worst at the roots and at the scalp. So that is where we're concentrating the most effort here. It does take quite a bit of time, and she has a whole head of hair, so we are going to go ahead and skip to where the next step begins. Now, I know she's looking like a mess right now. That's because the next step is brushing, and that fixes pretty much everything. So I am using just a Monster High brush here because I was hoping that the scale would be appropriate. Like if I use my own brush, it would miss 90% of her hairs. It took a long time. Eventually, I did switch to a round bristle brush that I had, and that actually worked significantly better. You can see I'm struggling a little bit here. But again, time consuming. You just gotta brush, and brush some more until all of the cornstarch is evenly distributed through her hair. And here's Abby after she is all brushed out. The hard work definitely paid off. She is so much softer now. I felt disgusted touching her hair before after my experimentation, and now it is super soft and lovely. The worst thing that really happened was that through all the brushing, I did lose some tinsel. Not all of it, like she definitely still has some sparkly strands in there, but there were some losses. You kind of just have to be prepared when doing this sort of thing that some hair is going to come out, and it doesn't mean your doll is going to be bald. It's all going to be okay. Here I am just taking a wet paper towel and wiping off the excess cornstarch from her face. I want to keep it in her hair. I definitely don't want to keep it on her face. So that is all I'm doing there. I would say overall the path to get here was traumatizing, but this was quite successful. With that success, I then moved on to Venus. Her hair is looking absolutely disgusting, but thankfully the flocking wasn't removed by all of the other things she's gone through, so we're just going to do the cornstarch method again on her. Here she is post-treatment, and I am so happy. I was a little worried the cornstarch would mess up the color of her hair with like the white powder, but it is still vibrant and lovely and so soft. I'm thrilled with this. And here we have Draculaura, and frankly, all I can say is it is not good. I am fully aware this is a hot mess. So she definitely didn't start out the worst. Her style was lacking, but her hair wasn't the stickiest. But through all of my trials and errors, she just turned out absolutely horrendous. During my last effort with the cornstarch and then washing it, I thought she was going to turn out okay, so I made an attempt at curling her hair, and I mean, the curls took, but in absolutely the worst way humanly possible. So she is a disaster. I do know that. We're gonna work on it. I will say she is the scariest one to be working on just because her hair is obviously black, and that's a little nerve-wracking with the white powder, but clearly I couldn't leave her like this. I would never do that to her. So we're gonna go for it. It doesn't turn out too bad, and it is definitely leagues better than whatever this atrocity is. See, I told you it was all gonna be okay. She's doing much better. For you, it was very quick. For me, that took like half an hour of brushing that cornstarch through, trying to keep her hair black instead of white or gray. It is a little bit duller a black than her original hair color was, but all things considered, I'd rather have it be a little bit duller and not feel like gum. And as you can see, it is swishy and bouncy and voluminous, so I'd say it's an improvement. Now with Draculaura, she does come with this super cute little poison apple hair clip. Originally, I had wanted to give her hair some curls and then put the clip in. Unfortunately, because I couldn't get her hair wet after putting the cornstarch in, or else it would just be a problem again, I wasn't able to curl her hair. So instead, I ended up finding that I liked this kind of like half up, half down look. It's not as fancy as I originally wanted it to be, but it is something a little bit different, and I actually really like the end result. It is a little poofy at the top of her hair, and I think it makes the rest of her look like really very sleek and pretty. I tried the little barrette thing on the opposite side as the way the box art was. Turns out the box art was perfectly correct, and it looks way better on the other side, so that is how we ended up. And here we are, all finished. As you can tell from my outfit change,
It's been a few days. I think it took me 5 days total to kind of figure everything out, get all my experimenting done, and get to where we are now. Also, I do need to just, like, take a second to point out how intense the contrast is between my last outfit at the beginning of the video and this one that I'm wearing today. I'm an inconsistent person, but aside from that, this is how the dolls have turned out. I will go ahead and pop in some more close-up shots. I don't think that you're going to be able to tell, really, with most of them, a, like, visual difference. I was hoping that it would come out more. Like, Venus, you might be able to see a little bit less of, like, defined clumps of strands with the glue. And obviously Draculaura has a style change, so she is a little bit more obvious than the others. But yeah, with Abby and Spectra, it's like, I washed the hair, it's softer. That's really the biggest thing. I do actually love how Abby's nails turned out, though. I think that was a big win. I was kind of nervous doing it because it is so small, but I think it turned out pretty good. I like the definition of her little claws there. So here's where we're at. I hope that you guys enjoyed going on this rather tumultuous journey with me. I definitely thought it was going to be much smoother, and instead we learned some things. I'm going to take it that way. It was frustrating in the moment, but now I know what methods work best for me and what don't. As I said before, if you guys have any tips for me, please do leave them in the comments below, because I would love to do more of these series with some of the other dolls that I have back here. I do want to do some more dramatic changes as well. This was kind of just a one-off or a first off, I should say, of kind of more basic stuff. So yeah, that's what I have got going on for you. If you did like the video, please do go ahead and give it a like. Subscribe if you want to see more, hopefully successful videos of mine, and thank you guys for sticking with me and watching through this. I hope y'all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys!